to the ring, weighing in at a collective 200 pounds, the host of the podcast, Noodle, Lacey, Ebo,
Hi.
and special guest, the 10-foot tall, the artist, shardist, mall cop blardist, Shayshayface.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Shay.
Welcome.
Hi. Hey.
Welcome.
So, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Ready for some dinner. I'm hungry. So let's get this shit. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's just I haven't eaten anything all day. It's fine now.
Me, any time of the day.
Yeah.
The same.
So, guys, for context, Shay is the reason that all the podcast members actually met in the first place.
Mhm.
This is the Shay we were talking about when we jumped in on her stream.
In the first episode.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yep. I remember.
That's her.
It is
I
me.
I wanted to ask you, Shay, because I said it earlier before the podcast started. What was your first impression of us?
Okay. Oh my goodness. First impression.
Please be kind.
Please be kind. I'm gonna be so mean. Oh my goodness. I don't want anyone to ever come to my channel.
You can go full hustle with me. I don't mind anything.
Let's see. I think the first out of all of you that I met was Ebo. I want to say, because I started watching Lukey way back when I first started. She was one of the first streamers, partnered streamers that I started watching. And Ebo is like a regular in her channel. And so Sax, which for those of you out there, that is my husband. He's also streams on Twitch. But he was like super good friends with Lukey, and he played Ring of Elysium with her all the time and stuff. So Ebo was always on the channel, Sax was always on the channel, and then I came by, and by proxy of being married to Sax, became friends with everyone. And so Ebo, when I first met or saw him in the channel, he was very, like, he doesn't talk a lot, he doesn't type a lot in the channel, I feel like. But when he does, it's like something that's usually pretty funny or witty. He has like kind of like a quick wit to him. And I didn't actually talk to him a lot. Like, we said hey every once in a while. But then I think Lukey rated me, and that's when you followed me, Ebo. And then you would pop into the channel every once in a while, and we got to like be friends and just like, you know, piss on like each other a little bit, like joke with each other and stuff, which I thought was really fun, because you can like take it and you can give it, which I like that about people, when they can kind of like give it back a little bit. So yeah, that's
pretty much how it happened.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it happened. And then you've became kind of a regular around the channel recently, which has been awesome, because I know you were really busy with like moving and stuff, and so you had a lot going on in your real life. So it was nice when you kind of became a part of the community. Let's see, and then I think I probably had seen Lacey Miller after that. Like, she's probably the second person I would see on Twitch, but I didn't really get to know until later, because I saw her in Art Vibes channel and like Russell Stewart, like within that community, in the creative community, but we didn't really talk very often. And then she came with a raid, and honestly at first I didn't know if Lacey was like actually a female, like a girl, or if it was like a male with a female name. Like, I don't mean that to be like insulting, but it's just like, because sometimes you like, I don't mean that you're not feminine because you didn't like come off as a guy or a girl, but I'm just saying, like, you know how like Lexi, like for everyone thought Lexi was like a girl for like ever, and it was a guy. But like,
Lexi's a guy,
and everyone thinks I am a girl.
Yeah, so like sometimes you don't
Yeah.
know on Twitch, so I don't mean that to be insulting, but and then I got to know you, and you were just like this incredible person, and I was like, holy shit, like I'm so glad to have gotten to know you. Like just all of the things that you do between your business and your art and your streaming and your skateboarding and your, you know, doing the podcast now, like you juggle so much and you are so young, and it's just so inspiring. And I hope that the, you know, younger and the older generations watching or listening to you, or, you know, looking at your Instagram posts, I hope they feed off of that energy that you give off, because you are just like such a gung-ho and like get it done and, you know, take charge person. And I'm so excited to see what you accomplish, because you have so much, you have so far, you know, like I'm just thinking of what happened in my life from the time like you're where you're at now and where I'm at, and it's just like I see so much potential, and it's just like I hope I get to be there for that, you know, because I'm really excited to see what you accomplish. So
Aren't we all?
Aw.
She's awesome as well.
Thank you,
and yeah, Noodle is from the very first time I saw Noodle, we met in Trucks. So some of you might remember Truck, who was a regular. She was a mod for a while on my channel. Miss her tons, but Noodle was in her channel a ton. And from the first time Truck and I met, we were like it was kind of like the whole like Daft thing. Like we just all kind of like Sax, Truck, Daff, and me were kind of like, yeah. So like when Noodle was always a regular in Truck's channel, he kind of like became a regular in our channel as well. So and he was just always so positive, no matter what, just always the positive person in the channel, always saying no. Like every time he would leave the channel, it wasn't like he would fade away, you know. I do that all the time. Like I won't say bye. I do the French exit like constantly. And then but Noodle, every time he leaves the chat, it's always like, thank you so much for the stream, and you know, you're awesome, and everyone's awesome here. And he's just like pouring out all of this like positivity. So like it's like you're sad to see him go, because they're like that energy, that positivity, that like excitement. He's always hyping up the chat and just really, you know, he gives us an energy, just like this really bright, wholesome, positive energy. But he's also very comical and funny and witty, and he can like be very super trolly, which is, you know, I love that. You guys know I love that. And, you know, which is a reason he became a mod. He's a mod in my channel. You know, and he's super loyal. He's super loyal to his friends, you know, all of his friends. It's just such a talented person, you know, does the art, you know. And I didn't say that about Lacey. Lacey's super talented as well, you know. All of you are incredible with what you're doing with the podcast and the streaming and all of the things that you do, the gaming. Yeah, like how imaginative Noodle is with his stories. It's just
It's
incredible.
already. Well, I'm blushing over here.
Trust me,
And-
I'm actually burning.
I'm sorry. I'm going on and on. I'm sorry. In TP, I met Trash Panda, and I know you guys kind of went over this in the first episode, in Miss Candy Art's stream, Bonnie, and it's just always like very whimsical. I didn't really talk to him a lot in the channel, but he ended up following me because I was talking about the raccoon piece, which I haven't worked on in a while, but some of you might know what piece I'm talking about. And of course, being a Trash Panda, being like, oh, raccoon, and
I'm easy to
so
win over.
followed. And then would randomly come by every once in a while, but every time TV would come into chat, it was just like this whole like fantasy world comes in with them, you know? Like everybody just becomes more imaginative and just they kind of like play out this whole fantasy, just like this play going on in the chat, and it's so much fun to interact with and to be a part of and to see play out in chat, because it's just like it just brings this like childlike wonder to the stream. And I know I'm like a very mature, vulgar, profane stream, so like we have these like wholesome childlike moments where we're like playing, and it's really incredible. And it's having the sort of ability to do that to people, to bring out that childlike, is like, I can't even, it's such a gift. And Trash Panda has that gift, because, you know, people feel vulnerable when they feel like they're a child, you know? So that the fact that people can feel vulnerable, you know, let down their guard a little bit and play with some, like, just kind of act out this fantasy world, it's awesome. You know, I love that it can happen. And in an art stream or a gaming stream where you wouldn't normally see that, like you would see that maybe in like a role play or like a very, like a D&D, very fantasy, like heavy stream. But, you know, I've never been like a super fantasy. It's not been like my thing. So it's not really what I feel like my stream kind of emanates. I know some of my audience is kind of, you know, they have that interest, but it's cool that even like somebody like me who doesn't have that kind of like, I'm trying to think of the word that I have. Like I want to just like always go into chat and be like, into every chat and just like start playing like I'm I don't know, like how we do in my chat. You guys understand what I'm saying? Everybody else out there doesn't. I'm doing really bad. Like I was doing so good, and then like this part I'm just like faltering.
I'm going to hide my ice cream, by the way.
Yeah, but like, yeah, things like that. Like, we blow each other up and we throw waffles at each other. I've thrown waffles at you guys. Like, what? They're like, TP is a trash panda that we've killed like so many times, and I bit off a bug's head and sucked out its soul. Like, so like that's shit that like I probably wouldn't do if it weren't like I didn't have these people that were bringing out these like playful, like kind of random nonsensical moments, you know.
Oh, she said it. She said it.
Poor Frank.
Remind me to call out Shay after stream for that.
Yeah.
We have to have a talk about that.
Oh goodness. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought of all of you and what I think of you guys now. So
that was such a
damn.
wholesome
Yeah. Holy crap.
So I pretty much took up the whole podcast with that.
Yeah, pretty much.
First off, obviously, thank you for complimenting us so much. I think you give us a lot of credit but it's kind of like you say we're all walking onto this stage and doing our bit in your channel, but you own the stage. So we can't do what we do without a place to do it. So we thank you for giving us a community, a place to enjoy ourselves and be ourselves. So thank you very much, Shay.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure, guys. My pleasure. Absolutely.
Like, what was I gonna say? Yes, the second question I was gonna ask, because it went on a tangent, but I'm gonna rein it back in for a little bit. What is it?
God damn it!
TP's bringing up the banning poster.
I know. Yeah.
Shay, for everybody who doesn't know your Twitch or who you are, explain who you are and what you do.
I am a primarily traditional artist, so I use oil, acrylics, and watercolors. And my art primarily highlights endangered species or creates a dialogue about our effect as humans on nature. So that's something that's super important to me. I love animals. I love the environment. I love nature. And it's like a passion. It's been a passion of mine since I was a kid. I've always preferred animals and being out in nature. And so, that's pretty much my jam. I do art. I mean a game, but like I feel like the art is like
your main focus.
Passion, right? Exactly.
And the reason it was Twitch that got you, reason why you picked Twitch?
Actually, Sax was streaming on Twitch before I was, and he
twitch.tv/SaxStream.
Mm-hmm. And nice plug. And I was already a full-time artist, and he's like, well, if you're an artist, like a full-time artist, might as well stream it. It could be extra income, and a portion of my art, the funds, and kind of like the whole purpose is to raise awareness for these animals and wildlife conservation. So he's like, you could add an extra layer, and also like we came up with together like having it so a portion of the revenue of my stream and the art on my stream that I sell goes to foundations that support the conservation of wildlife. So
all in all,
that's
just an amazing person.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm amazing, but it's nice that you say that.
Were you just like looking up? Did your eyes just dart up and go, oh, you didn't have to say that, but you already know that you're a good person for doing what you do?
I mean, it's not the whole like just being a good person or not being a good person. It's just that it's something that I feel is the right thing to do, is to care about nature and care about these animals going extinct. So I feel like it's just common. It feels like it's common sense to not want to like see our Earth die. I don't know, but I don't know.
I mean,
I guess
I couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, do you guys have any questions for Miss Shayshay?
Yeah, one. Where did Pink Shay versus Art Shay come from?
So I started streaming on Twitch in October. So it was like right before Halloween. And I was mostly art, but I was starting to get into gaming streams as well. And it was pretty much just, there was no switch. There was no differentiation between the game Shay, the art Shay. And then Halloween came, and I was like, I was also handing out candy to trick-or-treaters, and I was streaming, and I was like, I kind of wanted to like dress up but not be super dressed up. And so I just put on a wig, and I was gaming at the time, and everybody like was like, oh, you have pink hair now. And I was like, well, this is kind of like working. This is kind of fun. So every time I gamed, I wore the pink wig, and it kind of became this thing that, there was Art Shay and there was Pink Shay, and Pink Shay was like the evil one, and Art Shay was like the good one. And there was like this whole like duality, and like Pink Shay kept Art Shay in a cage and fed her pizza crusts and shit like that. Like, like again, we went into that like whole fantasy imagination world thing, but it's funny because I actually had the name Shayshayface before that came, which I know it like makes sense because two Shay is like Shayshayface, but the whole Shayshayface thing is actually a pet name from Sax, because like he would call me Shayshayface or say that I had a Shayshayface, that I make Shayshayfaces because I make a lot of faces apparently. But so yeah, that's where the username came from as well.
Who'd win in a fight?
Oh gosh, I
want to know.
I think Art Shay, she'd be using like her art supplies to her advantage.
Like a shiv.
Right, like she would be using like some mediums and some brushes and some palette knives and stuff. But Pink Shay, you know, she's got those quick reflexes from playing first-person shooters recently. So
Also,
that's
she
pretty-
has a mouse wire and keyboard wire and all the wires.
I can't. I would love if this was a video and we were all talking in a room, because I would love to bring up a clip of your Apex playing just about before the podcast started.
Oh my gosh, there's not a clip. Stop. You did something.
I didn't clip, but it would have been good to like
Okay.
reference it, going, oh, these were those quick reflexes.
I haven't played Apex in a long time. I've been playing a lot of Death Garden recently. So
Yeah, your Death Garden
Fucking
gameplay is really, really good.
I love Death Garden. It's a lot of fun.
Sax is a very good Death Garden player, I have
Oh,
to say.
he's a great hunter. He's crazy and at the hunter. Oh my god,
Even-
stop it. No. Nope.
Oh yeah.
I rescind my acceptance into this podcast.
Well, Shay, your
fine.
Twitch will be in the description below.
I'm just giving guys shit.
Oh, I know. That's what we're here for.
That is. We're all here to just give each other shit.
Does anybody have another question for Shay? Oh wow, dude. We can just make up questions, people.
Oh my gosh,
I
you don't
was
have,
just about
you
to
don't have to keep
talk.
questioning me.
I was just about to talk, but Noodle
Okay,
interrupted.
Hit us, Evo. Go for it.
What kind of paintings do you like paint? Like humans or animals or scenery or what?
I prefer animals, definitely. I was primarily, when I started Twitch and before, most of my art was very anthropomorphic. So I would like to put animal heads on human bodies. And I love fashion, so I would always like dress them very nicely. And so I had like kind of like a mashup, like a human animal mashup, but definitely animals as a whole. I've been doing a lot more humans recently, and it's been great practice, but it's just not as enjoyable, I feel like. But I like all of the paintings because I see the growth that I do, and I know the struggle that I went through, and the whole like doubting where I'm going with the painting and like getting through that and just the whole like process of a painting. So each painting that I've been doing, the settings or landscapes, like buildings, people, animals, nature, things like that, all of that. It's
And
enjoyable.
sorry,
So no, it's fine.
I was gonna say and when you're talking about you enjoy the process of painting,
Mm-hmm.
do you like? You said I've seen myself. I've been in the stream over 7 months. I've seen how you act and how your emotions change about a painting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind people seeing you getting frustrated and annoyed about pieces?
Honestly, that was like a huge kind of like an anxiety of mine when I first started streaming was like making mistakes on a painting and having people see that. And because like, of course, why would I want to seem imperfect? It's not like I'm fucking human or something. I don't know. But
20-foot human.
everyone's so supportive. Nobody is if you make a fucking mistake, even if I call it out, I'm like, oh, what the fuck did I just do? Nobody's like, yeah, you're dumb. Like, why did you do that? They're all like, it's fine, or you can fix it, or, everyone's so supportive. So after, like you said, you've been in the stream for like 7 months. I've been streaming for like 9 now. After having that kind of positive reinforcement when you make a mistake on stream from strangers on the internet, like you'd think like fucking the most hostile people, strangers on the internet, but like no, they're like super supportive. You kind of grow out of that. you kind of, I mean, you don't fully, because I still kind of have like those anxieties of like really fucking something up or just hating a painting so much that I like just rip it up on stream, or I don't know, some crazy, I don't like, see me like feed it to a wild rabid trash panda. I don't know, some shit like that.
You realize that people would love that.
They would love me just fucking raging on a painting.
Right.
Like, can you imagine?
This be really
yeah. I can imagine Shay, like someone I seen the site. All right, I remember watching Brittany Art Vibes, and she had like a canvas that was taller than her and wider than her arm's reach, and I can imagine you painting something of that size and then losing your shit and kicking your foot through it. That would be clipped. That would be on Reddit. You would be on the front page of Twitch.
I don't think I'd go that far, but
the fucking doc would be like reacting to it.
Okay, but canvases that big are hella expensive, and yes, I just said hella, and yes, I am 31 years old.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
No, but they are super expensive. So if I ever did that to a painting, I would have to really, really hate it. And I hope I never hated anything I create that much. But I don't know. There's plenty of future. Who knows what?
Any other another question for Shay? Well, we say questions. We are kind of basically interviewing you.
I know it is very interviewey.
We're kind of when we bring on a guest, what we're trying to do is kind of break down the person into sections that we talk about. And I think for you, we've got a lot to talk about because we've known you so long.
Yeah.
Like you feel comfortable talking to us.
Right.
Actually, that's a good question. You said strangers on the internet. Do you consider people like
us,
Daff, Mermaid, us, to be
strangers?
Strangers or friends or acquaintances or something like that, or is there still a little margin that you keep?
Oh, like I totally consider you guys friends, but I mean anyone on the internet is kind of like a like it's real life, like how you act in real life could be completely separate from who you are online.
Very
and
true.
Like so until you actually meet somebody in real life, I feel like you can't really like say that they're not a stranger. So because there is that show called Catfish, and people are super convincing that there's somebody else, and they are definitely not that person. But I mean, I'm not saying any of you guys are catfishes. I'm just saying like that's how I view it on a general level. Like yes, I consider you guys friends. I enjoy being around you guys. And spending time with you guys and supporting you guys and whatnot. But yeah, until I make my way to Ireland and shake a noodly appendage. Yeah. No.
That will be one of Shay, can we just be like really honest with each other right now?
Okay, yes.
You're not, you said this yourself. You are not the kind of person to shake someone's hand or give them a hug.
I would shake their hand. I mean, if somebody comes in for a hug, I'm not going to like deny them a hug unless they're like super menacing. And like, it's like if somebody comes in for a hug, like I'll give them a hug. I'm not going to make like an awkward scene.
So you'd probably uppercut me if I went in for a hug.
I mean, I have weird reflexes. Sometimes I just like spasm.
I fully expect it.
I don't know.
But yeah, I just wanted to ask that question because with the podcast is a good example of it as well. We are technically strangers to each other, and we're developing connections at the same time. And I wanted someone who is older, and has obviously more life experience than we do, Sorry, I'm really just playing the old card here.
I know you're
This is an
really
elaborate
just
just
driving
roast.
it home. She's a granny,
No,
guys.
you're like 100 years old.
She's really old. Like, oh my gosh.
She uses the Flintstone.
That has to be like something for Sub Friday. Shay in a Flintstone car.
Yes. Our
What
feet
would
were
I
the
know, Shay?
original engines.
They
I have
still
a
are.
conspiracy that Shay's lying about.
Although
I
she
know.
she does look as young as we do. I will say that, Shay, you do look younger than you are.
It's just
Yeah,
the
you do.
camera. It's probably just quality, like bad quality. You guys will see me in real life and you'll be like, okay. She
Oh
looks
god,
like
this
she's
is really
about
a granny.
45. Okay. Yeah, she needs to not ever not be in front of a webcam. She needs a webcam for real life, okay?
What are we talking, like Louis Vuitton bags under the eyes?
I'm pretty much, when you guys look at Danny DeVito, you're pretty much just looking at me in real life.
Ooh, wow. See,
That's
but yeah,
pretty hot.
Danny DeVito's cool.
Yeah, but I don't have the cool factor that Danny DeVito has, so I don't have that going for me.
I'd say you're on par with Danny DeVito. That's the highest compliment I can give.
Oh my goodness, Trash Panda.
But Danny
Like-
DeVito on Philadelphia.
That is like a goddamn, like, amazing compliment.
It's like a badge of honor right there. You
I
look
know.
like Danny DeVito on Philadelphia. Wait, is it called Philadelphia or is it only Sunny in Philadelphia?
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Never watched it. I only seen clips of
Oh my
like the
God.
Trash Man.
You haven't watched it with us on Rabbit?
No, I wasn't there for it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
'cause,
excuse my
like
French.
Daff went on a Sunny binge on Rabbit when I was cleaning one day. He was just like going through all of our Sunny episodes.
I have to say, when you started doing a movie night with the followers, I thought that was such a brilliant idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I wish I had time on Wednesdays recently to do it again because I have a great movie that I really want to watch, and I love this movie. And we have to also
Wednesdays?
watch. You want to watch Jaws? We got to watch Jaws. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's so much fun. I love, and they have a different website they use now because Rabbit went on. Like, I don't know what happened to Rabbit.
The rabbit
just
is
gone.
down.
It's just gone. It's not anymore.
Rabbit, we're calling
It's
you out.
gone.
Yeah.
Is it
but,
like,
like-
an illegal site now or something?
I don't know. It links to another site. So there is another site there that you can use.
I think
Which we
the
used.
other
We
side
watched
bought
Rocco's.
rabbit.
Yeah.
So, anybody else got maybe another question or a follow-up statement? Or just
I've,
somebody want to call Shay out for some bullshit?
Multiple.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Bring it
I'll
on,
do that
Tippy.
after the podcast.
Let's just go with it.
A very, very important question that if you don't answer right, we're cutting the podcast and deleting it.
Okay.
Tell me, Shay, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? Oh.
Oh
I see
shit.
where you're going with this.
Careful
I
now.
see where you're going with this.
Are you going with a
Um,
raccoon or horse?
Oh, God, there's so many animals that I can't offend right now.
Okay, I'll make it easier. What's your favorite black and white animal?
That begins with a what?
With
I
a
didn't
T.
get that. With a T?
Mhm.
Turtle.
I know there's a great tarantula that's probably like black and white.
Kick her off. Kick her off.
off.
Ban her right now.
Obviously, it's gonna be a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
A black and white Tyrannosaurus Rex. I thought you were gonna go like that one step further and juke us and say Frank, and then that would
would've
have
been so
cut
mean.
TP in
He's
half.
not black and white. He's black and red from blood.
Oh my god, shit.
Oh.
context for everybody or listening. I always say watching, but you do watch a screen with words in it. There was a stink. Is it a stink bug? Isn't it?
Yeah, it was a stink bug. Yeah.
And it was flying around in Shay's stream. There is a clip of her getting the absolute shit scared out of her. I recommend watching it. It's hilarious. Chat christened it Frank, and Frank actually stuck around for a long time. I don't know how long it was there.
Like a lot of the stream, he was there, just kind of like dive bombing.
And then Shay decided to rip its head off and suck out its soul. You know, like, as you do.
It's a shame nobody clipped that.
I know. I think all the lights started flickering. I don't think anybody could have clipped it.
My eyes started glowing red, you know, it's crazy. No, I'm just, like, everyone's like, okay,
Everybody's like, find the VOD, find the VOD.
What the fuck just happened?
Guys, I do actually recommend going through Shay's clips, because I've clipped a lot of them, Lacey's clipped a lot of them, TP's probably clipped them, and I know Ebo's probably clipped some as well. We
No, I
always
haven't.
find the funny... No, you haven't?
I haven't.
He was like, nope, not me.
No.
Nah, not me.
But there are like there's some gems in there. Some absolute gems.
He's lying. He just wants you to torture yourself. This is what this podcast wants, for you to torture yourself. I'm just kidding.
Right?
I'm just kidding.
No, we are torturing our guests. Nothing else.
We're torturing you, basically, Shay.
I'm pretty sure at this point it's me torturing you guys, so.
I'm pretty heartbroken at the moment.
Yeah, oh, TP.
First, she picks tarantula or goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then she comes up with
A black and white Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh. TP, come into my room and I'll cuddle you until you fall asleep, okay?
I'll climb into your hat and cry myself to sleep.
Okay.
Of course,
You know-
obviously, I would love the Trash Pandas. Why would I not love the Trash Pandas?
Yes!
Yeah,
I mean,
You
nailed
love
it.
to hear that. You love to hear.
Shay, if you actually want to see a really good video, there is a video somewhere in this Discord of a trash panda spinning around 3 times and then getting dizzy and falling over.
Aww.
That was me.
Yeah, it was TP.
I
So,
sometimes do spin around and fall over.
any more questions or anything else to add, guys?
No, I don't
No?
think so.
TP, you said you had one last thing you wanted to say?
That was my question. That was my
That was the
ultimatum.
question, Noodle. Gosh.
The big
Oh.
question.
Call him out like that.
I was hoping
God.
she'd answer, Trash Panda, and then I'd, lead us all away in a happy ride into the sunset, but, then we
I've-
got into the sad topic.
Remember,
Well-
earlier in the podcast when I was like, I ruin everything? So,
Well,
I'm just gonna, reiterate that.
I ruin... Exclamation point.
Everything.
Everything.
Yes.
But
exactly.
yeah, in all honesty, I think that was a fucking awesome podcast.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so TP, do you want to hit us with a nice sweet outro?
I'll give us a little outro. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Nonsense for the World podcast. We've been
All descriptions will be in the description below. Description things.
Exactly, all links and descriptions.
Thank you.
Definitely check out the guest Shay, the 10-foot tall artist, fartist, mall cop, artist, whatever I said. I don't even know what to say.
You actually got it on point, don't worry.
Yes.
I was downgraded from a shartist to a fartist, and I am personally
Oh,
offended
no.
about this. So I'm just gonna, I don't know,
So if
leave
anyone's
this
listening,
podcast with a bad taste in my mouth. Thank you.
go into Shay's chat and call her a shartist to make her feel better.
Yes, please. Thank you.
That's pretty
So,
much
yeah.
it. Hope you all enjoyed.
Thanks for listening,
Thanks.
folks.
Time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for
Thank you,
listening,
Shay.
everyone out there.
Thank you for coming, Shay.
It's an honor
And,
to have
at some point,
on our
yeah.
podcast.
And also, before we finish up, at some point we hope to get your husband on here, and we'll take
Yes.
we'll take strips out of him as well. And
Yeah,
then
I
we'll
mean, you
probably...
can try. You will definitely try, but it probably won't. I mean,
Oh, I know that
it's
man's made of
sex,
steel.
So.
We will destroy
And then actually,
him
if you
anyways.
guys are willing as well to both jump in at the same time, and then we can all take stabs at your relationship and marriage and all that.
Oh, fantastic! That sounds great. So pretty much what this podcast is just like dissecting Sax and Jay.
We're
I
here
love
to
it.
attack
Like, great.
guests.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
Perfect.
But yeah, thank you so much, Shay.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
I send everyone off with a kiss. Will I?
Oh yeah, he's gonna
Again?
say.
Oh,
The
Oh,
kiss.
yeah.
Your outro. Thanks everyone for watching. Goodbye.
Mwah.